Hi darlings, hi guys, how are you? I hope you're all well. So today's topic is probably more of a follow-up from what we did last video, and I want to say a very big thank you for the support that I got on the last video, for the views, for every like. Thank you so much. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to link it somewhere here. It's a video that is going to prepare you for the year. Please watch it, and then let's continue watching this as well. So today I want to talk about something, and I've titled this video like all you have is you. And basically what I want to talk about is how are we going to remain consistent throughout the year and achieve these goals that we have. How are we going to achieve those goals? What are the things that are going to make us and keep us consistent in that? And basically, how do we become the best versions of ourselves? So if you're new here, hi, how are you? My name is Caroline. I do bring you these videos to help you in your journey of becoming the best version of yourself. I am in that journey as well, and I welcome you to this amazing community of lovely and beautiful people. Let's glow, let's grow together. So the reason why I was looking at consistent is this. I don't know if you guys have realized how fast 2024 is moving. Like today is the 17th of January. Literally we are half done with January. It's done and it's gone. And something I've realized is, if you look, I think if you have watched me before, you have heard me talk about the 12-year plan. And if you look at the 12-year plan, then you know a quarter is 3 months. So if January is done, we only have February and March. And then Q1 is done. It's like done and dusted. And then we go to Q2. And I was just like, man, what have I done? Like, the year is flying, you know, it's going. And I know with the year starting, we all have beautiful and amazing plans for the year. But then again, those plans to actually become actual things that we have achieved need a plan and need you to really go after them, right? So in today's video, I want to talk about some things that I think hold us back from being consistent in following our dreams, and also just talk about how do we make sure that we are aligned with our goals, how do we make sure that we are aligned with the vision that we have, and how do we make sure we are consistent in reaching that, because it's not easy, to be honest. You know, we will face handles, we'll face things that will probably make you feel like, no, I think I'm okay with the routine that I have. And I was listening to a certain podcaster who said recently, but that it's very, very hard to break something that you've known for the last 30 years, for the last 20 years. You can imagine the number of years you currently have, and now you want to become a new version of yourself, a better version of yourself. And you have to break the routines that you knew that was serving you and change to something that is now going to serve the better version of yourself. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. I would say consistent is something that I personally have struggled with, right? I will know that for a fact I want to work on a certain project. I will know by the end of it all, this is what I want to achieve. But then again, you find yourself knowing that, and you know very, very well that you know the work that you need to put in place. But then again, when it gets to you actioning and getting to a point where you're working on it, something just happens. You're just pulled back by the old routines, and you're like, okay, it's fine. I think the salary I get at the end of the month is fine with me. I don't need to do any. It's not that you don't want to reach to that goal. It's not that you don't want more. It's just that you hate the process. It's just that you don't really like putting on the work that is required for you to get to the end point. So if you look at that, and we look at what are some of those things that hold us back from really going after those goals. So one, this is something I've talked about. I believe I've mentioned this thing in this video, and that is knowing your why, right? So I know a lot of us in this journey of creating our visions and planning our lives, we have what we want to achieve. But then again, I want to throw a question to you today and ask you, do you know why you want to achieve what you want to achieve? Do you have your why? I.e., I want to build my own house. You know, by the end of the year, I want to have bought land, probably have built, or I want to buy a car. What is my why, right? And my why simply can be because I want to provide a better future for my kid. So I'm not just doing this for the sake of doing it. I'm not just chasing the material thing that is the car, but I want to do it because at the end of the day, I want it to serve a certain purpose in my life. It can be just, gratification, just self gratification. You just want to do it for that. But then again, I think that is not the only thing we do, or rather we want to achieve better things for ourselves. So if you do not know your why, something I've realized is that it's not just enough to want something. It is very, very important to understand why you want that something. So if you know that, then you're able to really, when you're looking at the whole plan, when you're looking at the why you want to do something and the steps that you're required to take, you're able to understand and align them to the why, right? So I want to do this because at the end of the day, I really need that car, I really need that money because I want to change and transfer my kid to a better school, because I want to provide myself with a better life and things like that. So the second thing is normally poor planning. I know we plan, but are you doing it right? So when it comes to planning, I personally, actually, I think until last year, I've been a person who does like a year resolution, and you're like, so what do you want this year? And you say 1, 2, like you align the things that you want for the year, and that is it. But then again, I came to learn about the 12-week plan, and actually just recently I attended another coaching class that I even learned more on that. And when it comes to poor planning is basically you just putting yourself in a place where, like, yeah, my plan is I will buy clothes from Alibaba or something and I'm going to sell them, without really planning ahead and knowing that, okay, so I need to sell clothes, I need to identify my target market, I need to know how I'm going to market these things, I need to price them correctly and things like that. So there's planning for the sake, and that is poor planning, and then there's good and clear planning, and we'll get into that. So that is also something that is holding you back from being consistent with your goals. And then lastly, and not least, this is actually very, very important, is identity. It's the identity you're creating, the identity attachment to your goals. I'll give an example. If you want to lose weight, you know for a fact that you need to eat clean, you know for a fact that you will need to go to the gym and just do some workouts. If that is the goal you have, but you keep on telling yourself like, you guys, you know me, I'm not a gym girl, I can't, I need to eat my carbs, I need to eat my sugars, and yet you're saying that you want to lose weight, you are actually creating an identity in yourself that you cannot do this, because you're basically telling yourself that. So if the identity you have attached to your goals is the negative, and from the old version of yourself that thinks of you like, I cannot achieve these things, then you're not going to be consistent in working your way towards achieving what you want to achieve. So those are 3 points that are very important. So how do we then overcome these 3 things? What do we need to do? So I'll give a quote on the Bible, and that is on the power of having a vision. So the first thing we need to do is get very, very clear with our vision and where we want to be, where we are headed. So the Bible says, let me get that verse for you. So the Bible says basically, where there's no vision, people perish. And it's also saying, write the vision in plain paper, make it very clear. So step 1 is for you to be very, very clear with your vision, very, very clear with where you want to go, and do not forget to attach your why to the vision that you're creating for your life and for yourself. Once you do that, write it down. I've never been a believer of writing and journaling and things like that, but of late I've realized that when you have ideas, it's very important for you to write them down. When you see that vision, and I've also mentioned this before, when you're visualizing your life and where you want to be, put emotions into it. When you're drafting and writing it in paper, feel it. At that particular moment, feel, see it, and just write it down exactly as you see it. So once you have a clear vision, the next thing you need to do is clear planning and having a strategy. So there's planning, poor planning, where you're just saying, okay, this is the plan, I'm going to do this. But then again, does your plan involve a strategy? Now, this I want, and I love to refer back to the 12-year plan, because in that 12 year, it basically gives you that ideology of looking as a year at 12 weeks. But recently, the class I was in, I learned that it's not just about you clearly just writing, this is what I'm going to do, but it's you taking time and drafting every single week. This is the plan and this is the strategy I have to do A, B, and C. An example, you want to launch an online business. So it's you putting yourself where you're creating a strategy for your business. So it's understanding that for this to work and work perfectly, I need to have a competitor analysis done. I need to order sample pieces from wherever you're ordering them from. I need to know the pricing. I need to know my market audience, who I'm targeting, and things like that. And it's you taking these things and giving them every single week that you know, like this week I'm going to work on this week I'm going to work on this. And also, when you plan and you strategize like that, it's also remembering to go back, reflect, and look at every single month. After every 4 weeks, go back and see, I was supposed to do this, I was supposed to do this. So you're working on your strategy, and in that, you're also rewarding yourself for anything good that you have done, right? And then, so basically that is creating a roadmap to where you want to go, planning and just having a strategy for that. And then number 3, we have become the person who accomplishes these goals. So when we were looking at the things that hold us back, we looked at your attachment, your identity attachment to the goals that you have. So instead of being this person who like, I am not a gym person, can you be that gym person, right? Can you talk to yourself, change the way you talk to yourself, change the way you feel about yourself, change the way you think, your routines and your actions. It all starts with the mind. It all starts in the mindset. So if I want to create a business, and I've done this before, and I wasn't really, it's not about me looking at myself and saying, but I always fail in these things. It's about me taking the positive identity right now and seeing myself having established that business, having created a successful $1 million business, and just living in that identity. So every single morning when I wake up and I know that I need to do something that is going to get me closer to that goal, instead of looking at it and like, oh my god, I hate mornings, it's about me knowing I am doing this because this is my reason. This is where I want to get, and this is where I want to get here. So it's changing how I think about myself and be like, as the owner of this business, as boss, as a CEO, as just give yourself that identity of whoever you want to see, whoever you want to be, whatever you're creating. Remember, we started by saying a vision, right? You saw yourself having the things that you want, having that mindset of the person that you want to become. So when you are working towards these things, it's also for you to become the person that accomplishes them. So it's not about just becoming a person with your words of mouth and your writing, but it's for you to really getting out there and being that person. And how do you become that person? By doing the thing. And that's why we said you are all that you got. You are the only person who can get you to where you want to be, right? Evaluate yourself and look at what has been holding you back. So anything to do with the poor planning, work on that. Anything to do how you encounter that is basically having a plan with a strategy. So not just planning, but coming up with a strategy on how you're going to accomplish whatever you planned to do. And then know your why. Why is a very important question that we need to be attaching to every single thing that we're doing in life, especially that we are in a journey of growing and becoming better versions of ourselves. So it involves a lot of healing, it involves a lot of letting go, and involves a lot of relearning as well. So attaching your why to the things that you want to accomplish is going to be key for you. And then lastly, we talked about identity. And identity, there's a book in the Bible that is Mark 11:23 that says, whosoever shall say unto this mountain, he shall have whatsoever he says. So it basically means that you are and you can have whatever you say. So your tongue is very strong, your thoughts are very strong. However you communicate to yourself and what you say to yourself, the identity you are giving yourself, that is what you become. So when you want to achieve something that is positive, see your person, see yourself as a person that accomplishes those things, and start identifying yourself to the person that accomplishes those things. And then lastly, as much as we are working to achieve these things, to evolve and become better, I want you to also be very mindful and live in the moment, live in the now. As you're working in that, don't really put everything onto that and forget to live in the now. Remember to be very kind to yourself, remember to be fun, remember to laugh and to live. So that is it from me today. Thank you so much, guys, for being with me today. I'll see you again next week. Remember to subscribe, remember to share, and just leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you plan your life, your weeks, your months, and things like that. It's going to be very helpful as well to the others. So thank you so much for your time. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.